Are you not entertained? You see what's happening, right? You see what's going down. You see what's going down with this man. You understand? With the guy, Canelo Alvarez, the face of boxing. Am I right or am I wrong? You see the lineup, right? I threw Andre in there because it's a question mark, but he belongs there. What's going on, Martin Ramos? Salute to you, my friend. But you see what he's doing, right? He's not out here capping. He's stepping up and he's fighting the best. Okay? I didn't think he was going to fight Triple G. He said he didn't want to fight Triple G. He's fighting Triple G on the contract. I did not see him fighting Bivol. That was a fight that I wanted as a boxer fan, a fight that I thought he would never take. He's fighting him first lineup. And I think Eddie Hearn slid him in first to make this a ramble and a rumble. But you got to say this. No matter how these fights go, he signed these contracts to make these things work. He's putting on a show for the team. The whole team, the boxing community. You know what I mean? So as for the three guys I wanted to see this guy fight was Bivol, Benavidez, and Andre. Three guys that I didn't ever think I'd see this guy in the ring with. You know what I mean? Or a couple years too late type of shit. That is not what I'm getting. I'm getting the biggest fight that I wanted to see. You understand? I'm getting the biggest fight that I wanted to see. Shout out to Iron Kong. You know, I wouldn't say that this guy is so big in the media, but let's just be real. This guy is probably the best. If you take all the guys, you line them up, you throw them in there with the same competition that Bivol been in, I'm not sure they make it. All the guys that want this fight, I'm not sure they make it. I'm not sure they make it to where Bivol's status is, even though he's not a social media giant. And for Canelo to take this fight on, for me, as a boxer fan, and for people who recognize talent and competition, this puts him on another level for me. This clears up some of the shit that I've been giving him because he wants that greatness. Now, as for the Makabu or the Ryder in the third fight, I'm not too happy with that. And I think Eddie gonna pull some slick shit and slide Andre in there. Say, this guy, he can't make it. This guy can't do this. He gonna fuck with the contracts. And hey, the money talks. He's fighting Bivol. The money talks. He's fighting Triple G. He said he wasn't fighting Triple G. He said not fighting Andre. They all three DAZN fighters. It's not that far-fetched, y'all. It's not that far-fetched. Not with this Canelo energy that I'm seeing of late. And this ain't me switching up. This is Canelo switching up. This is Canelo stepping up. This is Canelo making it happen. You know what I mean? The contracts are signed. You know, the contracts are signed. So we're going to see. Maybe that one's going to be a surprise. But out of those two guys, Ryder and Makabu, and Andre, of course, I think that Andre fight brings in more dough than the other two do. You know what I mean? Especially for the boxing fans. And if it's about for stepping up and fighting top-notch, you know, competition, I think that's the way to go. Because we kind of know what's going to happen to Ryder. I don't feel like Ryder really pulled that W off. I felt like he had a good performance, but I don't see it. I don't see it. Shout out to Lisa Bales in the building. We got Chan Smoke in the building. You know? So what we saying? It says, okay. I heard Andre is a possibility for being the third fight. Exactly. He is a possibility for being the third fight. And let's just face it. If he's not the third fight, then that's a what? If the Mando is there, hey, man, and he relinquishes his title, what is it? What is it? We know what we call that. So, but for the energy that he got right now, I'm not mad at him at all. I mean, he is technically the face of boxing right now. And he's showing that, okay, this dude may not be the biggest name, but they're giving me the big bucks to fight him. And he's the top-notch competition. And that's the guy that I'm getting in there with. And that's what we're going to do. And then, you know what? Now I'm making it personal with Triple G. Because he said he didn't want that fight. He didn't want that fight, y'all. So I'm just saying, man. I'm saying money talks, bullshit walks. You know what I mean? So if you line him up, he's saying now he's putting them down. All right? Now, like I said, Bivol, Andre, Benavidez, and we can even throw Beterbiev in there. But we getting one, possibly two. And at least we getting one or two. As for these other fighters, we not getting no unification. We not. I need more money to fight that guy. You ain't hear any of them guys saying, yeah, give me Bivol. Oh, they were calling out Triple G, but Triple G was waiting on that ass whooping. Well, if Canelo gets by Bivol, he's going to get it. He's going to finally get that ass whooping, and I hope that payday is worth it. I hope he can count his money when the fight is over. You know what I'm saying? I really do. But I have to give Canelo his props. And I feel that boxing fans should. You know what I mean? All this cap about Charlo and Benavidez, I wasn't that big on the Charlo fight, but I would have watched it. I would have watched that shit, though. I'm a boxer fan. It's got some intrigue to it. They've been talking back and forth, but let's just keep it. Let's keep it up a buck, man. Even his Brody was like, you ducked him. Even his little Brody, big bro, Jermell, said, come on, man, you out here ducking. You ducking the face of boxing. And I think I touched on it in Iron Kong's. They tried to discredit Bivol, the fanboys, the Canelo fanboys. He don't deserve a shot. He's just washed up. Matter of fact, he's ducking Zerto. So he ducked Zerto to fight Canelo. Yeah. Let that marinate in your brain for half a minute before it burns a hole into that, before it burns up that last brain cell you got. It's think about that. Come on, guys. Oh, that's how Triple G gonna be sounding when he gets in there. If Canelo even gets by Bivol, I got that much confidence in this fight. That's a iffy fight. For as much as people was talking that this fight ain't a big fight, man, when you get to the odds makers and you go to place that bet and you are a massive Canelo fan, you know what? You might make some good money. I think he's, what is it, minus 350? Bivol's plus 250? That's the judges are on my side odds. That's not a guaranteed win odds right there. That ain't guaranteed win. You know what I mean? So you take that lineup, you look at both of the attributes of these fighters, and you go, damn, this is a great fight. This is a great fight. Size difference. Even Bivol said it. I said I'm pretty sure we walk around the same weight. We the same size. So when it comes to the weight class, it ain't gonna matter, y'all. It ain't gonna matter. It ain't gonna matter. These dudes are the same size. They fighting at like pretty much the same weight. If they put the claws on the end of it, it don't matter, man. This guy's small for 175. This guy's big for 168. You know, his frame don't look it, but this dude, Canelo, one of them dudes that could pack on that muscle. And as for the style matchup, man, you got the mover. I keep hearing people saying, I even heard De La Hoya said, you know, Canelo or Bivol, I think he's a good fighter, but he don't have good enough foot movement. He's a stationary object. I'm like, has this dude ever watched the Bivol fight? Has this dude ever watched the Bivol fight? I rarely even see that dude on flat feet. He's on his toes more than Danny Jacobs. Are you kidding me? He don't move around enough? Oh, man. I think he fights a lot like Sergio Martinez. And Sergio, you know, he was a planted guy. That guy, you know, he kind of just stood around. And matter of fact, I think that's the perfect style matchup, like the perfect style to compare it to. He fights like Sergio Martinez. He got fast hands. He's in and out. Yeah, athletic, and in the prime, in his motherfucking prime. But I got a lot of people in here. I got Truth Bomb Jake in here. I got BHP in here representing that UGC Flame. I got AOBs in here, and I got Kong and Red Glove Militant. Oh man, I got to drop that link. And that goes for some, you know, we're gonna get the homies in here, but if y'all feel like y'all against it or y'all with it, y'all more than welcome to share your comments. That's what this is. It's an open panel. You know, I don't discriminate. I participate. And you yourself can participate in this flaming live right now. TAC shit. Hashtag UGC shit. Come on in, man. Share your thoughts. Don't be a stranger. Boom. We boxing fans here, real ones. We pay attention. We see what's popping. We see what's popping. We don't just listen to social media around here. We look at matchups. We want to see guys get shots. We want to see unification. You know what I'm saying? We want to see guys getting one belt, moving on, grabbing another belt, moving over here, grabbing another belt. Getting undisputed. We push undisputed over here. You know? Now, and that's what I mean. When it comes to Canelo Alvarez, he just got undisputed. And after he gets undisputed, it's like he moved up to fight the number one or arguably two guy in the light heavyweight division in his prime. Not the old guy, not the guy with the big name. Not the guy who's hyped on social media. Not the guy that's going to bring out all the fans. But the guy that's going to bring the best out of him. You got to give him props. Boom. We got Kong in the building. What's popping, Kong?
Hey, free Jarrell Miller. Peace to everybody.
Well, hold on, Kong. Hold on now. All right, Kong in the building.
I'm in the house. That's my intro. What up to everybody? Once again, free Jarrell Miller, free Big Baby. You know,
free Big Baby. I heard he's coming back.
Well, that's good because I can push Anthony Joshua all the way to New Jersey this time.
So how you feel about Canelo right now? You think like this dude making the proper moves? He doing big things?
Hey, man. I'm not going to criticize this doing no petty shit. He fighting the number one light heavyweight. I don't want to hear all that. Yeah, I got my criticisms in other ways, but two things can exist. I can criticize him for something, but I can give him props for something else. And this ain't no big name fight, like, because if it was just a big name fight, he would have fought Jamal Charlo in Texas. That would have been a crazy big fight because it's Texas, it's Charlo and all of that. But he's fighting someone who's much more skilled than Jamal Charlo and someone who nobody really knows.
Right.
So this is about testing himself. I guess this is testing himself, right? So there you go.
Yeah. I mean, but what do you think that Andre should be pushed in there? You think Eddie Hearn's gonna pull a slick one and slide him in last minute?
No, I think Eddie Hearn wants to make the Benavidez fight for Andre. I genuinely think Canelo Alvarez does not want to fight or will not fight Andre for whatever reason. Dislikes him. I don't know.
But so if Andre and Benavidez fights, what's gonna be the excuse then?
Well, from what I understand, the WBC and the WBO want to make Andre and Benavidez fight for one mandatory for Canelo. So if that happens, then there's no excuse. But to be honest, Canelo is locked up for what, at least 2 fights before that. So in my opinion, Andre goes to fight Zach Parker. He beats him. Benavidez beats Lemieux. I don't see why the two shouldn't fight. Just fight.
Yeah, just fight. Why not make it happen? You know what I mean? And let Charlo sit out there and continue to fight whoever it is he's fighting, or let him step up and let him fight some guys as well. Maybe he can, come out the woodwork and get it on with an Andre or a Benavidez. Because if they got so much, money over there, why ain't they make that Charlo Benavidez fight? Why ain't they make that Plant Benavidez fight? I think you brought that up. You know what I mean? And then, guys running around with no title, and Canelo saying, you ain't offering me nothing. And Charlo ain't offering him nothing at 160. But now, this is what I'm curious about. Can Charlo pull the same thing that Andre did and attempt to move up and push for that number one contender in the WBC?
But wasn't that what he said he wanted to do with Benavidez? He's going to knock Benavidez out. He's going to do this. He's going to do that. And he still didn't move up.
He said he was going to knock Benavidez out. I thought he was talking about, nah, man, you got to be over the age of 24.
Yeah, that's before he said that. So he starts, I'm going to knock, I'll move up. I'll beat his ass. I'll knock him out. Then when Benavidez said, well, shit, come on then. Oh, man, you got to be vaccinated. You underage. All this shit.
Damn, man. Oh, shout out to Gun Rights Mafia. Been a while, bro. Nice to see you, bro. Nice to see you. I think this is a great lineup, especially the first two. The third is questionable, but I really feel like Eddie Hearn gonna pull some shit. I think he's riding with Canelo all the way to the last minute. Because you can't say he's really riding with Canelo if you put Bivol in front. I'm just saying. Because that could fuck up the Triple G fight.
Hey, man, but Eddie Hearn been trying to get Bivol in that fight for a while. Remember with the Caleb Plant shit, he was trying to get Bivol in there. Eddie Hearn been trying to get Bivol a fight for like 4 years now, like a big fight. So this is a big fight.
Yeah,
he gotta
man.
deliver. He delivered.
I think the biggest one is the first one, according to me, because I'm like, yo, this is a guy, decent size, decent punch, guy can move, guy's got skills. The guy confident as shit too. Not arrogant, confident as shit. I seen the interviews. This dude's like, every time they ask the dude, he talk like that dude who got his daughter stolen. I got a special set of skills. and when I find him, I will beat him. He said he wants to use Canelo to go for his goal of undisputed at 175 to big his name up. That's what he's saying. He's not saying, oh, I get this payday and then I just sail off into the sun. You know what I mean? He's saying, nah, I'm going to use this to get bigger on social media so people know I ring some bells, not just in the ring, but outside the ring.
So he's saying he's using Canelo as a stepping stone.
Yes. Yes.
I like it.
I like that energy. And you know what? All bullshit aside, you see Canelo like, nah, I'm taking this motherfucker serious.
Serious.
I'm taking it dead serious, which makes it a very, very, much more interesting fight because I want to see the matchup. And I got to say, when it comes to composure, Canelo probably one of the number one guys out there. You talk about patience. You talk about timing. You talk about, you know what I mean? Fucking everything, countering, You talking about head movement. You talking about all these things, and using his height to his advantage, which may his short height to his advantage, which may be a problem for Bivol, because you never really seen him in there with a guy that small. He's always fighting super tall guys. And we seen, I think it was Tony Reviews talking about it. I said it was going to be a tight fight anyway between the Bull and Tank. He said he's not used to fighting guys his size or below. And if them guys are good at fighting low, that could cause you some issues. They're getting under your shots and they're in your chest. Problem is, I think Bivol got faster feet than Canelo. So getting in his chest is going to be hard. And Canelo don't really cut off the ring. He inches forward, and he's going to have punches coming at him, and this dude going to be moving, so he's going to have to reach occasionally. He's going to have to work for 12 rounds.
I think people mistake the fact that Bivol don't do a heap of like frenetic movements, a bunch of this herky jerky shit like you see like maybe a Caleb Plant or whatever. People mistake like he does proper foot placement, proper positioning. He keeps moving and shifting in different ways. And people see it and like, oh, that's flat-footed. No. That's just a man moving and being efficient with his movement. Like he doesn't do a bunch of nonsense and in the ring.
Stops and pops. But what you see in a lot of other fighters, like when they like Plant and they quote unquote consider him a slick boxer. A slick boxer ain't a mover. Ain't technically a mover. A guy that's springy on his feet. And I didn't see him that springy in the feet. He's light on his feet, but he ain't on his toes a lot. He plants his feet and sits in the pocket. So we've seen the same thing with all the other guys that he's been in there. They plant their feet, even Jacobs. But Jacobs does have good, I think he's got better side-to-side movement than a Bivol. But he also pressured Canelo in that fight. He also let off punches when he was taking breaks. But I think Bivol going to do more of that. And I'm not saying that it means that he beats fucking Canelo, but I'm saying that it's going to make for a great fight, and I'm curious to how Canelo performs. You know what I'm saying? In that matchup, man. Like, because I'm like, he's gonna have to be on point all night. He putting on a little extra weight, and he's gonna have to move either to move towards him or move back and make adjustments on the fly all night long. You know what I mean? So I mean, it's going to be. I think it's got the potential to be a great fight. What's going on, Black?
What's up, bro? What's going on, Arcon? 1-2 Kid, True First Crew, everybody in the playback. What's going on, y'all?
What's up, Black in the new truck? What up, man?
What's happening? Yeah, man, close, real close, man. We've been picky. Me and the wife have been picky on the one we're trying to get. But did I hear you say free Big Baby when you first came on, Arcon?
Yeah, you goddamn right, free Big Baby. All right,
you still on that?
What's wrong with you?
That man still pushing that.
We about to see Tyson Fury do a big fight in Wembley, and Tyson Fury said he ate boar dick. Before that's why he popped for Pez. But and Big Baby can't get a fight. Get the fuck out of here.
He said boar dick.
Hold up, let me order this coffee. Hold on.
Oh man, damn! You's a cold dude, Calm. He said he out there eating boar balls. Oh man, that's crazy. That's crazy. But there is a different energy when it comes to punishing these guys popping. And I guess if Big Baby popped, he popped all the way. So if you're going to do steroids, do as many as you can.
I'll tell you something. I'm not getting popped for no one pill. I'm getting popped for everything. If I gotta get popped, I'm John Pascaling it.
Pascal, see? And that goes back to what I was talking about yesterday. They talking about Charlo got a better resume than Bivol. And I'm like, listen, I don't know if you get a Pascal today,
all right,
and you throw Charlo in there with him, if Charlo has a chance. Even if he acclimates to the weight. I don't know if Charlo can fuck with Pascal. I
Well,
don't know if
Pascal be fucking with them steroids too, so you got to
Mhm.
factor that in.
Right, but I'm saying if he fucking with the steroids, Dimitri Bivol beat him. He also beat Joe Smith, who Barrera, and then he beat Barrera when Barrera's only loss was to Andre
Ward, right?
Ward, and he
Yup.
won 4 in a row after he beat Joe Smith. He fought Bivol, and Bivol washed him, stopped him. So I'm
Yeah,
like,
made him
this
look like an
dude,
amateur.
yeah, and it's like, well, this dude, he fights nobody. Like, nah, man, he's not a nobody. And Canelo ain't fighting a nobody. He fighting a dude with not big name, but with a skill set that's dangerous. So you have to give him props. This dude
Who pushing that narrative?
oh man, that shit is all over the internet.
Black, let me tell you something,
That
man.
that Bibble a nope. Nah, bro, we
Yeah,
ain't
yeah.
doing
Well,
that.
people of Charlo has a better skill set. I'm like, oh, they tougher. I'm like, hold on,
hell
based
no.
on what? Based on what? What are y'all
Hell
basing
no.
this on? What's wrong with y'all? No,
Heck no.
I'm
No,
not gonna
I'll be
lie to
honest
you.
with you.
Yeah,
Kong, I said this the other day. I think this will be, if Canelo can pull off this victory, this will be one of his better wins in a long time. I think this is better than the Triple G victory, man. You know, I mean, who else can top the Bivol win? You know, what other opponent can you throw out there?
I don't
And he
know.
catching him at at a time that, you know, he's still undefeated. So
This dude told me Canelo beat much more accomplished fighters than Dimitri Bivol in his career, and I'm like, and he threw up this list. He said Amir Khan. I'm like, oh man.
oh no, not the
Ugh.
disrespect.
I'm like, man.
Ugh.
I'm like,
Come
just
on, man.
because y'all don't know who the guy is, don't mean the guy sucks. Y'all just don't watch boxing on a larger scale. Y'all watch who you know.
Yeah.
You said
right.
Amir Khan?
That's
Yeah. Like, come
Where's
on,
the
man.
horse shit meter?
Yo, but here we go right here. We got AOBs right here. Throw Charlo in with Smith Jr. and see what happens. Thank you.
Count
See what
Smith?
happens. No, he
Nah,
said throw him
Joe
in
Smith.
with Joe Smith Jr.
Oh, Joe Smith. Oh, yeah, that's a war right there. That motherfucker's gonna be there all night.
But
If he
Charlo
struggled with
can't-
Montiel,
exactly.
shit.
Those ain't you know what I mean, he not getting hit with cream puffs. No.
Mm-mm.
You seen what that man did to Alito Alvarez.
Yeah, fresh
That
off the
shit,
Kovalev. Shit.
yeah, and I'm not hey. I mean, I don't know about his last fight though. Joe Smith looked a little suspect. I didn't think he won that shit, man. I thought he might have
What-
lost that shit.
You mean not his last fight? You mean the fight before that?
Vlasov.
When he fought
Yeah, Vlasov. I was like,
yeah, I agree
I
with
don't
you,
know,
bro.
man. I was like,
Vlasov won that.
but hey, man, any given night, styles make fights, and I think that's one of the things that people overlooking in this fight. And if Canelo pulls this off, man, all praise goes to this dude. This
Heck yeah.
dude, I'm not gonna be sitting up here hating on Canelo. I'm not gonna be, and then to go in there and even fight an old Triple G, and then fight someone else within a year 3 times. You know what I mean? Come on.
Y'all think if he pulls it out, do you think he stays at 75? Or does he go back down 68 to defend?
I don't
Because
know.
they said the Triple G fight, so he's gonna have to come back down, right?
Yeah, he's gonna go back down, but he said he want to be undisputed at 175. And
You said that?
yeah, he said in the interview, he said he want to be undisputed there too.
Damn,
Yeah.
Canelo?
Yeah,
Yep.
this dude not playing no games. He said he
No
want to be
games.
undisputed there. So I'm
No
like,
games.
He's
No games.
so
well, hey, do
Yeah.
your thing,
So
bro.
that means he's gonna wait on that Joe Smith and Benavidez or Beterbiev fight to go down probably, and then go snatch up the winner
yeah, you want to fight
if
whoever
if he's to get by Bivol and
Nope.
and Triple G and hopefully Andre. I just threw that in there, man. I think
that
yeah,
is.
listen, I had to throw him in there, man. I had to throw him in there because come on, man, it's the zone, y'all.
Speak it, believe it, receive it.
Yeah. Why not? I didn't see these first 2 fights happening.
No, I didn't.
Last year,
didn't.
no one on this panel or no one in this chat could see any of them fights happening because Canelo was like, I'm not fighting Triple G. I didn't think that Bivol had a shot in hell of getting a shot against him, but I was pushing it. See? And you're right. seek it, believe it, receive it. Shout out to Deontay Wilder. You know what I'm saying? Yo, for real. Like that shit worked.
And did Wilder do his drug trip yet? Ayahuasca to figure out if he gonna fight again. Wilder said that's why you're gonna fight him, man. I might have to go do a spiritual journey, take some hallucinogens to figure out if I'm gonna fight again. I'm like, oh, Wilder.
I don't know, man. Maybe he had that turning point in his life, man. Maybe he's you know, maybe going through that moment, you know, maybe it speeded up the aging process, that last ass whooping. and you know, maybe he just like coming to terms with some shit. You know what I mean? What's that, midlife crisis? Maybe he having a midlife crisis right now, and he trying to get through it. But I gotta say though, all bullshit aside, he put up one hell of a fight, man.
Man.
He went out like a champ, but he did go out. So hopefully we could get to see him again. He's still got
On
a
his
big right
shield.
hand. Yep, on his shield. But hopefully we could see him again. Hopefully his health is okay and intact. You know what I'm saying? I don't think he needs to do the toad to figure it out. I think if he had the right team around him, he could figure it out. But
Yeah.
that's how that go. But right now we on that big champ shit. You know, we
Always,
not on
man.
that little champ shit. And we got some big champ shit going down. And it shout out to Canelo, man. This dude could have been fighting Joe Schmo and still getting paid big bucks. And the other thing is, like I said, about the whole DAZN thing. Well, it's a pay-per-view, their motto. And I'm like, but you know what? We had the pandemic. The Canelo 365 million deal fell through with Golden Boy. Like, he gotta make up for that shit. He been putting on good shows up to that point. And to keep that name, let's just be real. Top Rank would do anything to get Canelo on their side. They kissing his ass from the outside and never even touched him. He can do whatever he wants. You know what I'm saying? Remember when he said that? Yep.
Remember when Bob Arum said, "Leave Canelo alone."
Yeah. Leave him alone.
Yeah, I got that receipt still, Uncle. Hell yeah.
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
I mean, and the PBC wanted
Don't bother
back.
Canelo.
Not
Yup.
Canelo. I'm like, oh my God.
PBC
Disgusting,
want him
man.
back, and DAZN got him. And I think that all this stuff that we hearing from the PBC is just jealousy.
They all fighting over him like that shit is like he the girlfriend and they two dudes fighting. You know what I mean? That's how PBC and DAZN act. They
Yeah,
fighting
but
over
I
Canelo shit.
put it like this: like it's like, oh yeah, I'm not paying for that for a bibble with this. Not if I'm paying for this. And I'm like, but the PBC, that's what they're saying. They're using that narrative. Some people feel that way. Okay, that's cool. But when the PBC says it, it's like, what's the last 3 pay-per-views you gave us?
Yeah.
Were they even remotely close to that? And how much were they? You know what I mean? You tried to give us a discount on the Ortiz fight. I'm like, that shit was a discount. That was
Hey,
a
that card
$3
was better than the Keith shit.
Oh,
Yeah.
I heard. I didn't even
the
watch the
card
Keith shit.
the card was dope, but if you ain't got a main event, like that's your main event.
He said, well, you ain't got no main event. Ortiz and Martin ain't no damn main event.
That's to get you to
Yep.
go to the store, bro. That's all the advertisement in the store. Well, we got this lineup, we got this lineup, and then when you go to get, they got these funky, cool ass drinks and shit. It's like going to Sonic. You're gonna get all the good ice cream and the good drinks, and then you get the food and be like, ew.
That's a fact. That shit is trash, bro. Sonic food is garbage.
Yeah, man.
But
I'm
the
like,
drinks is fire.
I went there once. That was it.
Over with.
Yeah, I threw that shit in the trash and walked out. Was like, that's what I get, man. They got me. You know what I'm saying?
But like, I'll keep the soda though.
I keep this ice cream Denny's type shake thing, whatever. But man, I'm gonna go over here to this other fast food restaurant and get me a main course. Holy shit, this is hot garbage.
Yeah.
That's what the
Should be
PBC
trash.
gave you in the last 3 fights, man. On pay-per-view,
Yep.
from Tank Davis to Ortiz to Thurman, a guy coming off a 2-year layoff, fighting a guy who got stopped, who's moving up and got stopped by a 135 pounder, and they're like, buy this. Like, man,
Yeah.
you can't, if they promoted that shit as much as they did and pushed that shit as much as, if they did that with good fights, they'd be doing all right. Then pulling the old switcheroo with, you know what I'm saying, with Spence and fucking Pacquiao.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm like shit. But we
You
do
know,
got. Go ahead.
That
you
was
know
some
what bothers
sick
me
shit.
most about the whole pay-per-view thing with PBC and these people? The DAZN sub at least gives me more fights, better fights on the sub. And it's like, I don't mind, like, guy had the pay-per-view. I'm not gonna buy the pay-per-view, but for my sub, I get better fights. I'm gonna get that goddamn Chocolatito fight on the sub. I'm not even getting regular fights from PBC no more. I'm not getting no fights. Like I don't even know if PBC still puts on regular cards. Like all I see from them is pay-per-views. I don't see no good free fights. I don't see none of that.
Yeah.
And then you just say, hey, buy this shit. Really?
And I'm not hating on the PBC. I'm just saying what they doing. You know what I'm saying? I enjoyed the free fights when they first came out. I enjoyed the big lineups that they had. I seen that they were trying to monopolize the welterweight division. I seen what they was doing, but then when I don't know, it got a little shaky. You know, because you know why it got shaky? Because they picked up Canelo. And when they picked up Canelo, you got to pay to play. So it's just like getting, you know, you get that brand new hot, you know, turbo vehicle. Now you got to put premium in that bitch. You know what I'm saying? You can't put $3-4 in that motherfucker. You got to fill the tank up with premium. So if you want to play, you got to pay, man. It's just what it is. Shout out to Red Glove Militant. He says Amir Khan is a well-accomplished piece of fine china. Yes, he is. Says that chin been broken on 5 different countries. I think he was saying that shit. Damn, man. He said his chin been around the world, man.
Hey,
Yeah.
you know what I was thinking about? This one guy, they were getting mad when Canelo said that Benavidez and Charlo don't bring anything. And then I remember something. I remember someone had shown me this video that showed that Ronnie Shields said that Demetrius Andrade brings nothing. I'm like, you know what? If we really think about it from Canelo's perspective, if Demetrius Andrade don't bring anything to Charlo, what does he bring to Canelo in like a business sense? That's the way they're thinking.
Yeah.
But just be real, man. That's a bunch of bullshit. Cause like,
It
what
is.
did Billy Joe bring? What does Bivol bring? Like, other
Right.
than just another belt,
I'm
another
just,
champ on your resume? Like,
I'm
Rocky
just,
Fielding. Yeah.
yeah,
I'm just,
like, come on, we gotta kill that dumb narrative. Like, oh, you know, these guys don't bring nothing. Canelo. Canelo just picks and chooses who he want to fight.
no,
You
I'm
know what I
just
mean?
saying, I'm just telling you that yeah, it's true, but they also do it themselves.
Well, I gotta say this, Black. We caught that motherfucker in a good mood. Cause he picked a little bit of a lineup and he doing it in 1 year. And I'm like,
Mhm.
I don't know, man. I think they you know, pretty good fights, man. Pretty like the first fight. I'm surprised that that's the first one you get out the box. I would have thought that would have been the last one.
I
Right.
mean, at this point, I think he probably went through kid. He probably like shit. I just conquered undisputed. What the fuck else I got to lose? Like that's how I was thinking. That's why I was wanting him to go after undisputed anyway. Because it's like, say for instance, Bud Crawford, Taylor, who should have already lost, right, in his previous
Right.
fight, and then
Mhm.
Canelo. If they lose, so what? You
So
know what I mean?
what?
They already hit the top of the mountain. You feel me?
Right.
It's
Yeah.
like maybe it's like that hunches that pressure is kind of off. Like fuck it, let me just take the fights that I want to take now. You know that I need to take now, even if it's risky. Already been undisputed. You know that's my logic is that they
Yeah.
feel like okay, fuck it. You know I'm already a king in the sport. So if I
Right.
lose, who cares? You know I'm still a
Right.
king.
Yeah. I feel like I like the way he moving, man. I'm like shit, man. Fuck it. It's not like he just moving
Mr.
up to
Lisa.
fight it. You know what I mean? Or it's just he's saying he wants that belt, and I'm like, dude happens to be on the zone, and while everyone's like, oh yeah, that's the only reason he's fighting him. He just got that belt. He ain't really nothing. I'm like, then why Canelo training so damn hard? Why Canelo not talking shit?
But
Why
hey,
Canelo be easy? Because he know he got to be on point with this dude, and this dude respectable, humble. You know, he not gonna sit there and talk big shit to him. But he did say he wants to use his name to get undisputed.
1-2 kid.
What up?
If Canelo Alvarez beats Bivol beats Triple G, and then at some point, maybe early next year or whatever, fights the winner of Better Behave and Joe Smith.
Mhm.
And this dude becomes undisputed at 175. Let me tell you something.
Right. It's over with.
It's over with. Like
It's over with, dog.
you can't tell this man shit. Like what?
Right.
What you gonna say?
I'm gonna be 120% honest. Like, if he becomes undisputed at 175, the whole 154 scenario becomes an afterthought.
Yep.
It's like, come on, man. He did it at 168. You can question the competition, but he still did it.
Yeah.
He still is undisputed, man. No matter.
I mean, because you can almost look at it like, well, 68 was like his tune-up undisputed route, and then he went to 75 and fought them big dogs up there. Like, I feel like this Bivol victory, if he gets a victory with Bivol, I think the Better Be fight is easier. I think the Joe Smith or somebody else is easier. I think Bivol is the hardest test at 75 to me.
Mhm.
You
He
know,
is.
just because his skill set. And I feel like if he get past Bivol, hey man, chop it up. He gonna get another undisputed, man. I think he gonna run through the rest of them guys.
Yeah, I don't see Joe Smith landed too many punches on him.
What if
You
Joe
know?
Smith knocked? What if Joe Smith knocked Canelo through the ropes like Beehive?
Yeah, maybe. Who
That-
knows? I mean,
you over here
he got the point.
fantasy shit.
But you know what? He's a pressure guy too. He ain't gonna stop coming, kind of like Better Be. So those are interesting fights too. And this is what I mean. When the guys move up, right? The big champs that we've seen guys like Roy Jones moved to heavyweight, from light to heavy, then jumped up to heavyweight. You know what I'm saying? To fight the Quiet Man. This dude isn't jumping up to fight the Quiet Man. I'm just saying.
Nah.
That's like him jumping up. I'm not comparing the skill sets, y'all, but I'm talking about from that time to this time in comparison. That's like Roy jumping up the Cruiser and taking on a prime fucking Evander Holyfield. You don't expect that. You go, okay, he's gonna jump up, he's gonna fight this guy. That's like, nah, I'm gonna fight this dude. And a guy he's ringing bells, but at that point in time, everyone was talking about Mike. Everyone was talking about Lennox. Everyone was talking about Roy. So to take on a guy like that coming up, that's it. That's how I view it. I'm not saying it's going to be that exciting a fight. I'm just saying that that's the only thing you compare it to today.
No, I mean, yeah, it is jumping up to the top dog.
That's the best that boxing has to offer now. So I'm like, that's not bad. But I do hope that they slip Andre in there, man.
Hey, you know what though? You know what's gonna be interesting? Because I mean, he had one fight at 75, right? And that was against Kovalev.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't fight nobody else at 75, right?
Right. Yep. He jumped back down.
We can say he was questionable, like chin for Kovalev. We seen him stop multiple times, right?
Right.
And then he had came off the war with Anthony Yard. My question is, can Bivol take Canelo's punch? You see what I'm saying? Like Kovalev, people could say like he was already kind of past his prime, over the hill, and he's not as fresh as a Bivol or like a Joe Smith or somebody like that who might be durable and may be able to take more from what Canelo throwing.
Right.
So if he can take Canelo's power, that might be interesting, man.
Right.
Because we automatically just assume, man, as soon as Canelo hits you, it's over with. You know, his body shots, his countering, and like Canelo usually hurt everybody. But what if he can't hurt Bivol? You know, that's gonna be the interesting thing about it.
I do feel like Canelo trains. He literally trains to throw haymakers, like punches with everything on him. You know what I mean? Like that's what he's been doing in his last fights. Like when he's throwing punches, they got bad intentions on every one of them. You know
this dude Bivol got good feet, man, and the guys he been fighting. No diss to Canelo, his last 3 or 4 opponents, but Plant did have pretty good feet, so I give him there. So I don't know, man. Maybe he might be able to keep up with him and not fade or anything like that. I know Bivol gonna be moving.
But you know, you look at the Plant fight, and he has successes in that fight. But the one thing, he's accurate, but he ain't got a lot of pop.
Yeah, Dimitri got more power.
Yeah, Demetrius. Bivol, or Dimitri Bivol, he got more pop. He got more
Mhm.
pop. He makes people think. You know what I mean? He
Yep.
said he's going to try to. He said he may even try to stop him. Which I'm like, man, just stick to the game plan. Like, stick to the game plan. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah, you might get knocked out trying to get the KO because Canelo be counting the fuck out of dudes, man.
yeah, if he plant his feet, you know, that means he's gonna be within. Canelo gonna make sure he within punching distance. But if he don't plant his feet, Canelo got to put him in punching distance. That's what I'm saying. That's why I like the fight, because he's a good counter puncher. He springs out. I like the way that Canelo coils up and just lets the punches go. You know what I'm saying? And he throws with bad intention. I think that his style to me is very intriguing. I enjoy watching him fight. I enjoy him as a fighter in the ring when he does fight competition. And I'm like, I just enjoy watching that guy fight. I also like watching Bivol fight. A lot of people say he's boring, but you know what? That's funny because that's what they say about a lot of fighters that a lot of motherfuckers don't want to fight. They boring.
I don't know if Bivol can win on the cards. I think like if he do try to pull a Arislandi Laura, like just
It'd have to be a
box on the
white.
outside
It
and
might have
move
to
and
be
shit,
a whitewash. He'd have to wash him.
or he gonna need to get a knockdown or some shit to really just sell it, because you know
Or-
it's just Canelo, man.
Or when the fight's over, I mean, another way that he could pull it off is, you know what I mean? If even if they're saying, you know, they praising Canelo for shit that he's not doing, you know how some of the commentators might be doing.
Right.
But
Audience,
at
yeah.
the end of the fight, though, if they like,
You look at the state of his face.
you know what I'm saying? Like,
Look
hey,
at that man's face.
look at his face. You know what I'm saying?
Right, he got to make his face toe up or something. Bloody, you know,
And
bloody his lip,
I do see
swole his
Canelo
eye.
getting touched more in this fight. I could be wrong, but I see him getting touched more in this fight than he's been in his other fights, because I think
Yeah.
it's going to slow him down a bit. And like I said, when I seen him fight the Jacobs fight, I was watching the Jacobs fight again, and I'm like, Jacobs was having some success on him, and he didn't like it when he turned it up on him, when he take them breaks. And Bivol does that more, and people are saying that, you know, one of the issues with Jacobs is he don't put his feet on the gas enough. He just fights in spurts. This
Yeah, I
dude
don't know
don't do
about
that.
Yeah,
This
that
dude don't.
matchup, man.
Yeah, but this dude don't do that. This dude bop 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 bop. He's not stopping. He in and out, and he's letting the punches go. So I'm like, you got to avoid them all night. You got head movement, cool. But how many times have you had people just continuing to throw at you where you got to use that head movement all night? You got to move them feet all night. You got to reach to punch him. You're working even when you're not landing. So, I mean, it's the pace that I feel like if it goes the full 12, it'll be a long fucking night.
That's Canelo's
You know,
true weakness. The pace.
Yeah.
Someone
It's
can
the
eat
pace
up
of
the
it.
pace of the fight.
Yeah, keep up the pace and be able to, you know, withstand a couple shots or not get hit with them shots while still being active and getting off shots. Now I'm working not only on punching you, I'm working on your ego. You know what I'm saying? I'm not only I'm punching you and you're not punching me. Now your ego is getting beat up too. Now you're doing shit you don't want to do. You know what I'm saying? But
Yeah.
I gotta give it to Canelo. Canelo's that guy that just keeps his composure, man. You know what I mean? He keeps his composure. We've seen it with when he was in there with Kovalev. He just, okay, all right, yep, block that. Yep, coming. But Cove was standing there occasionally, standing, letting off, and then moving. This dude ain't gonna do that. This dude gonna be on his toes all night. So it makes for an intriguing fight to me.
Yeah,
Real
I think
intriguing fight.
Yeah, I think it's very interesting too, because I saw Bivol. Well, this guy named Hazengod. He showed some highlights. I'm like, this dude, like he's technically, he's almost like he got all the technical skills you need to be a good boxer. He's not super like cute or he doesn't have the flashiness, but he does all the right things.
He said Canelo doing the Bobby Valentino too. Pulled up in the Bugatti.
Yeah.
You know, Ellie was there. Oh, look, he's in the Bugatti. You know what I mean? Let's talk about his Bugatti. You know what I mean? Look at his shirt. Oh my God.
Can't
How's
stand
it feel
that.
to be in that shirt? It's like, man, let these dudes talk. Pay attention to what they talking about, man. Let's and shout out to Black for swinging through. But don't nobody care about what he's driving and all that stuff. That comes with legacy. He's doing that. You know what I mean? You're gonna see that when guys move like that and they got a whole country behind them, they're gonna have money, man, because
But
people spend their money. Yeah, that's gonna come. That's gonna come.
we know Ellie's a fanboy, so he just can't help himself.
Yeah, hardcore fanboy too, man. That dude is just, I don't know. But and hopefully, I'm pretty sure there's Vada involved because
Mhm.
it's not just Vada or nada. It's Vada or Prada. We know that the divas get away with not doing Vada. So you know what I mean. They put on their heels when they take them needles. You know what I mean. Them injections. They might as well get injections in their lips because they not men. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? It's like, come on, man. Like, what are you doing? Why are you doing that, man? I'm not with that whole, I'm not with that steroid shit.
I got
But I guess Big Baby gets a pass with Kong. If no one else got if he don't get a pass and everyone else getting a pass, I see his
Keep
point.
telling y'all, Tyson Fury about to go do his big ass show in Wembley, and I already told you, what he said he ate, why he pissed hot. So if Tyson Fury can be selling out Wembley and all this shit, and Canelo can say he ate cow and all of this, why Big Baby can't get a shot, man? I mean, get my guy back.
Yeah, but that motherfucker, come on, man, come on.
What?
Come on, Kong. He was bleeding pills, man. They took his blood and it was just like powder.
Listen.
It was
Listen.
NyQuil in that shit, man.
I think he will come back though. He'll probably come back. I don't know when though.
It's probably a contact, hey. Can you get a contact high for Peds? Can that happen?
Maybe he was drinking crazy Arizona teas, man. Who knows? You know what I'm saying? Maybe he was drinking the Arizona teas, had a boar nut sandwich,
Right.
Yeah, maybe he had all that shit. Who knows? Maybe he had a torn bicep. Maybe he had 2 torn biceps and a quadricep, This still was CVS to the fullest, though.
No,
he was Rite Aid.
He was gonna commit a murder on Anthony Joshua in the ring.
Oh man, shit. Yeah, man, that's crazy, bro. This motherfucker would have been bleeding clenbuterol. That's just been leaking fucking steroids and shit. Pills just falling out of his head like one of them shits that you hit for candy every time you get punched.
Pinata.
Pinata, man. Every time you got hit, fucking pills that came out. Like, give me some more. That's how the dudes that be on that shit though, man. They be eating them punches like they ain't nothing. That's crazy. That's crazy to me, man. He'd have been like a pinata, man. Motherfuckers would have been getting their fix if they was in the audience. Yeah, man. CVS, this motherfucker for real, man. He can advertise for them. Go ahead, learner.
So you think the undercard is going to be better this time?
For the zone,
they can get a better undercard for the fight.
Yeah, now that's one thing that you could criticize the zone for. Some of the undercards beyond they turn out to be sometimes good matchups, but on paper they look all that great.
I think when you got like these top heavy main events, you gotta pay these main events so much money, then you gotta bring in like dudes from Canelo camp and these people like Frank Sanchez fighting some carnita seller somewhere. I don't know. So hopefully it'll be good. But again, this is a top heavy main event, and we don't know who they're gonna get.
But you ain't gonna be Canelo ain't gonna be getting no flame from me. Nope. And I don't care if motherfuckers out there crying. You know what I mean? I don't care if motherfuckers like, what do you mean he giving Canelo props? Yes, I am. This time around and shit. Absolutely. You THC and UGC and you not feeling it, man. I'm sorry if you're looking like this. But I'm going to be like this. If he pulls off this win I'm gonna be like this if Bivol pulls off this win because I like the matchup. You know what I mean? I like the matchup, and I'm a boxing fan. I really don't care who wins this fight unless I place a bet. You know what I'm saying? But
Yeah.
I just like the matchup. I'm a fight fan. I enjoy watching these guys fight top-notch competition. And I feel like some of these dudes, now I'm starting to kind of understand what Canelo's saying. These dudes do got to fight each other. And with guys like Andre, who hasn't been in there with too many big names, but he's attempting to get in there, and they're saying things like, you need to give me more money. No, 7 million ain't enough. It wasn't enough for Benavidez. It wasn't enough for Charlo. So, you know what I mean? Like, don't say this dude's a bum and y'all both technically duck this guy.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? And don't say it's your agent because you hired him. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear that shit. Yo, man, and y'all could line that shit up, and it could have happened on the PBC, or y'all could have made the money, whichever. So I don't know what type of spell they under, but it then as soon as the zone puts up this fight, and as soon as the zone gets Canelo, what do they say? They platform sucks. Look, they doing pay-per-view. I'm like, damn, these dudes is bitter as fuck.
Yep.
This shit look bitter to me, and I'm not even hating on PBC. I'm just saying, yo, come on, guys. I'm only just telling you facts, man. You can fact check me on anything. What? Record? What? Resume? What? Last 3 pay-per-views? What? You know what I mean? Come on. What are you arguing here? You beating a dead horse. You know what I mean? So let's just see if PBC could pull it off and maybe find some money to put these motherfuckers in there with each other. Oh, well, they'll cancel each other out. That's what they're trying to do. Cancel each other out. What are they doing, though? Why aren't you talking about that? How about zero, nothing, zilch? They not fighting nobody. They not even attempting to make unification.
But bro, what's disappointing is that the PBC has fights to make. Like
They do.
they got Benavidez, Morel, they got Charlo over there, Plant over there. They got fights they can make, but they're just not making them.
No, I'll tell you exactly what it is. They want the other networks to buy their fighter so they ain't got to spend a fucking and move their fighter around and just leech off the other network.
But no problem. So why didn't they send Jamal Charlo to the zone to get that
Because it's not enough for they crown
Enough.
jewels. No, it's not enough, bro. It's not enough. You gotta pay more, man. You gotta pay them more than they pay them. You know what I mean?
Jamal Charlo ain't never made no $7 million.
Right. I know. I'm just telling you the way they thinking. You know what I'm saying? Well, we bring out Texas. It's like, okay.
Since when?
I don't know. That'll be the argument, though. I already see him coming. You know what I'm saying?
If Charlo was fighting Canelo, that's a big fight in Texas.
Yeah, huge fight.
Jamal Charlo versus whoever. Jamal Charlo ain't no $7 million fight. People didn't even buy his pay-per-view, and it was him and his brother, a package deal.
Yo, you know what else would be a big fight? If the dude could he got a big name, but he'd have to move up, but he could definitely move up. Is Ortiz and fucking Jermell. You know what I mean? I think we might even possibly see that before we would see him in Spence. Because I feel like they'll throw Jermell around. And I don't know why, as close as he is to undisputed right now, but he's kind of like turning into the Sean Porter. You know what I mean? And if that's not the case, then that means he's the only one out there trying to clamor to fight to become undisputed. And that means that you can tell them to, their promoters to fight whoever they want to fight. It's just, the more you look at it and the more you break it down, it starts revealing itself for what it is. So you can't blame your agent because, this man got some of the same agents that these other dudes got, and he's damn near undisputed. He got unifications cracking. Jermell, shout out to Jermell Charlo. You know what I mean? For putting it on the line. You know what I mean? Like Canelo, putting it on the line. These guys is out here putting it on the line. But Jamal, what's he putting on the line? his WBC. Okay, with who?
Bro, they're gonna put that man on the shelf again for 12 months.
Man, I don't know, man.
Remember last year? What was it? Last year when Canelo fought Caleb Plant, Jamali had no fights booked. Canelo has what? Two fights already booked and a third pending. So that's pretty much a whole year. No Canelo going nowhere else. Bro, move on with your life. Move on with your career. The Charlos are not in their 20s. These are 30-something-year-old people.
Yeah. And there's a lot of fights that can be made, man. What's going on with Plant?
I don't know. Well, he
You know
got
what
his
I'm saying?
Canelo money, so he's retired now. Him and his fine wife. You know, they live in Tennessee. I mean, Tennessee cost of living gotta be low.
But that go to show you, man. You know what I mean? When you see these guys and they get that type of money, man. Shit, man. We seen it happen with Maidana. He didn't get one payday. He got 2 paydays. I guess he coming back again, y'all. He got half the weight off in his last comeback. It was like, nah, man, I could be on a yacht right now. Why am I hitting this bag? For real, he was like, man, I could be in the sun. I'm in the cold. It's just hot, sweating in this motherfucker. He's like, you know what? Nah, man, I'm going to go home and sleep on my money. So, I mean, yeah, when you start receiving that type of money, you get pampered. That's why it's nice to see guys saying, looking not quite past fighting the biggest name they've been in there, but saying, look, this is what I'm going to do. This is my plan. I have goals past this. You know what I mean? So this will get me to here. I like that champ talk because that's the type of energy you need to be in the fight game.
Bro,
It's a
you ain't
warrior
seen
sport.
Billy Joe since.
Oh, yeah. Nah, man. Yeah, man. He got his eye socket whacked, man.
Andy Ruiz got AJ money, and that dude life been destroyed since then.
And yo, Canelo gave heat to Ryan and to Ortiz. I seen him cut the interview off when he was flaming Ryan, and then he was like, he said an Ortiz he said he doing the same thing.
Who? Virgil Ortiz?
No, not Virgil Ortiz. I'm sorry. Ruiz.
Oh.
I'm sorry, y'all.
Since he beat Anthony Joshua, that dude has gone downhill. He looked like shit against Arreola. Then he just disappeared. They said he was injured. I don't know. This dude has just gone.
I was watching that
money, bought that big ass mansion, all them cars, and that was it.
I was watching the E! News interview with him, and he was flaming Ryan, and he was like, yeah, man, he don't come in. You can't come in for 20 minutes with your cameras and shit, and then bounce, come in, say, you know, I guess he wasn't coming in on saying that he's going to be there at 2, coming in at 4 to 6, and then missing 2 or 3 days between training sessions. He was like, you can't do that. And then he was like, and that goes for Ruiz as well. And then he was like, he do the same thing. And then it stopped. It just cut right off.
On ES News?
Yeah, it cut right off. Yo, it cut right
check
off. You're like, oh, no, can't say that. Or he's holding it on for another video. But he was flaming Ruiz too. Yeah, he was like, you motherfuckers ain't putting in that work. Then, you know what I mean? Don't be out here bitching. But then you got delusional guys like De La Hoya who's like, yeah, man, we want this fight and da-da-da-da-da. We're going to do
I wonder
this.
if that's why Eddie Reynoso was like, fuck yeah, I want to train Anthony Joshua. Bring the man on. I don't want these dudes in my camp. I want people in my camp who are serious.
Right. You want guys that are coming in to do it. And then also he said that, when Teofimo came to the camp, he told Teofimo the reason Ryan left is because he didn't want sparring.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, that's hearsay. But, yeah. Because, you know, they're both 135 pounders and iron sharpens iron. This motherfucker, you know, I guess when they said, you know, here comes Teo, this motherfucker was like, I'm having a depression. I feel a depression coming on. Yeah, you can spar Teo. He was like, ew. I got a headache. I gotta go. It's a funny narrative, but you know, I don't know how true it is, but That's what they saying Canelo told Tio. Yep. So it seems like Canelo's pretty vocal. He like, man, I'm out here doing it. So
Yeah, I guess he's frustrated because a lot of them dudes came to Reynoso camp because of Canelo. Like, yeah, Canelo's there. Let me go train there. But then when they get there, they don't want to do the same type of work. They don't
right.
want to put in the effort. And he's like, look, man, because Eddie Hearn, like he said, like when you go to Eddie Reynoso's gym, he says like it's a really small gym. Like it's a really small like corner of a building gym. It's not a big area. So there's no frills, there's no luxury. It's just a hard work type gym.
Yeah.
And when you got Andy Ruiz, who's now a Fashion Nova model, Ryan Garcia, he's Ryan Garcia. Them dudes don't want to put in that type of effort.
Right. Yeah.
Andy Ruiz was eating turkeys before the Anthony Joshua second fight. Mike Carpenter said he
fried
couldn't
turkey.
believe the amount of food
Deep
this
fried
man
turkey.
was eating days before the fight in Saudi Arabia. Like this dude was ordering all the food in Saudi Arabia. All. What the fuck?
Yeah, man. It's bad. It's bad, man. It's bad. But then he lost the weight. He put in the work. And then he didn't look all that great against Areola. He looked like a speedy guy.
He was in a fat camp.
Yeah, but his pop wasn't really there. Well, he had stamina. He looked quick. He was on his toes a little bit in the fight, but it just didn't go his way. He got time, clipped, busted up a little bit in the fight, but he still pulled off the dub. But then it was like, I guess that's good enough. And you know what I mean? And I think Canelo ain't feeling that. I think Canelo's like, nah, man, y'all gotta be on it 24/7. Don't sit up in here and say you want to be in my camp and don't rep like me. I do feel like he could have went in on Dude a little more though with that T. Like, why you bringing that shit to this camp? We got enough heat. You know what I'm saying? Don't give these motherfuckers anything to snowball. I thought he could have went in on Valdez a little more. Like, I don't know what's going on with him, but he gonna have to clear that shit up. You know what I'm saying? No more tea. No more tea. No more tea, man. We ain't eating Mexican meat and we ain't drinking Arizona teas in here. You know what I mean? He gotta address that type of shit. But he like, nah, this is just that social media shit. But when it comes to the work, man, I guess he's there. And when you see him side by side, you always see Dude in there training with him. So he getting that work in, that's for sure. Oscar Valdez, he training hard too, because he got a hell of a fight in front of him as well. These guys got to be at their best. And that goes for the other side too. Bivol and Shakur, they got to be at their best for these guys. You know what I mean? Because these dudes are dangerous, especially Canelo. So we got some good matchups coming up. You know what I mean? And now that's a free fight, right? Valdez and Shakur?
Oh no. I haven't heard nothing about no pay-per-view. So if that's just gonna be a regular ESPN Plus fight, then if Top Rank has been doing really good and giving us some fights that might be pay-per-view on the ESPN Plus app. I can't get ESPN Plus where I live, which is weird because I can download Disney Plus,
Right.
but I can't download ESPN Plus. I thought ESPN was owned by Disney, but anyway.
Yeah, that's weird. And
I can't get that shit here.
You know what though? Can you get Hulu?
Hold on, let me see something. I never used to be able to get Hulu because Hulu was just for the States.
Okay. Well, I know you can get ESPN Plus through Hulu. Maybe that's how I did here. So it's quite possible that you could probably get it through that. Just something to look into.
Yeah, I'll check it out. I see Hulu, but I pretty much canceled like Netflix and shit. I don't watch all that shit. So
right. I got
so my boxing is used to be consumed through Fox Fights because I don't have Showtime. Fox Fights and The Zone.
The Zone.
The Zone for me is like $1.99 American a month. So
Yeah.
I just watch that, get my boxing through there.
And they got a lot of like old school fights
Old
too.
fights, right?
Yeah.
So I haven't even watched all the old fights yet, right? I watch them shits at work. I put my TV on, my DAZN account, and I watch them shits at work. So, Top Rank has been doing good. And if they can do Valdez versus Stevenson on just regular ESPN or ESPN Plus, then it puts these pay-per-view people on the spot, because how is Keith Thurman Barrios pay-per-view and Shakur Stevenson and Valdez unification not pay-per-view? You know what I mean? It puts PBC on the spot.
Right. And that's another app as well. So yeah, you're right.
But anyway,
I gotta go.
I'm gonna roll out till you get back to work, man. Peace to you. And I don't know who this is in the chat, dude, with the handlebar mustache cartoon, but what's up? Peace to you.
All right, bro. I gotta go.
So there it is, y'all. I had to bounce for a second, but I don't want to hear anything, man. I don't want to hear anything about Canelo Alvarez, man, because he out here doing it. So if they say this guy out here ducking anybody, he ain't ducking nobody. These dudes ducking each other, man. They out here ducking each other. Shout out to Sweet Pea, R.I.P., bro. But yeah, man, these guys out here, they got the boxer fans like, yo, who you fighting? Who you gonna fight? That's how it got me. Like, yo, what you gonna do, bro? What you gonna do? So this the 1-2 kid, man. I think I'm about to cut this off, but I do feel like this had to be addressed. It had to be addressed. I wanted to address this 2 days ago. I had the live set up and everything, but I was just like, you know what? I got this going on right now. I'll do it. But then I'm like, man, I'll be waiting too long. But this is the 1-2 kid, and I'll catch you on the next one. Peace.